everyone, I'm Erin with 5 Parks Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. Today's class is going to be a reset and recharge yoga class. So sometimes we go through phases of life where we kind of disconnect with ourselves or our routine or our structure. And speaking for myself, I just went through an entire summer with 3 teenagers in my house, and I know that I need a little reset and recharge. So just kind of coming from my own personal experience and what feels good and what's needed for that to happen, I'm gonna combine those elements throughout our class. So sometimes a good reset for me comes from super intense moments, and sometimes it comes from quiet and restorative moments. So in this class, we're gonna do a little bit of both. And we're going to combine postures that really touch the entire body. And I hope that you enjoy it. One thing we're gonna do as we begin class is some pranayama always. We're gonna start with some breathing, and during that time, I'm gonna invite you to set an intention. If you are in a space that you feel like you need a reset or a recharge, it's a great time to actually bring that into your mind. What it is that you want to gain throughout your yoga class, but maybe in general in your life in this moment. And I think if you can bring that into your mind, bring it into your breathing, bring it into your heart, and really come back to that intention throughout your class, and then maybe throughout your day, maybe throughout your week, you might feel a sense of reset. This is my dog Rindo. She might be wandering around during our class today. So if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do. You can always click the bell icon for notifications of new classes. Thank you all for your thoughts, your feedback, your comments. Thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. And if you're interested in joining me for a yoga retreat, please check out information on my website. We're gonna actually start today lying down on our backs. So come onto your back and find a comfortable shape in your body. I might suggest like a Savasana shape so that you're relaxed and comfortable. So legs wide, feet falling open, arms alongside your body, palms facing up. Since you're lying down on your back, go ahead and close your eyes. Feel your body on your mat. Feel the air on your skin. Feel the earth supporting your entire body. And take a moment and begin to observe your breath. Take a moment for a quick body scan, working your way up from your toes toward the crown of your head. Just releasing any tension that you notice you're holding on to. Begin to shape your breath. So bringing the breath all the way deep down into the belly so that the belly rises and expands as you breathe in. And let that breath travel all the way up top of your collarbones. As you release and empty, find just a very gentle contraction to the muscles in your stomach to push out all the extra stale air at the bottom of your breath. Begin to welcome your Ujjayi breathing. So start to gently constrict the back of your throat. Your breath should become slightly audible. Before we begin to move today, take a moment to set an intention for your practice. So bring to your mind's eye a word, a thought, a phrase, a picture, something visual, something that you want to bring into your body, to bring into your mind, to bring into your day, to your practice. And a couple more breaths here. So just like you're releasing from Savasana, just start to bring some gentle movements into your body, preparing for some bigger movements. You can start by wiggling your fingers and your toes, wiggling your wrists and your ankles. Bring your legs together to touch and reach your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms and take a nice big body stretch here. You can even point your toes down toward the floor. Kind of like you're waking up for your morning. All right, now keep your left leg long, extended on your mat, and draw your right knee in toward your chest. Interlace your hands around your knee. First, bring your knee off to the right and then up toward your right shoulder. Draw your elbows in and down, and then actively flex all 10 toes back toward both knees. Feel the compression in your right hip. And then relax the grip on your knee. Bring your right foot up toward the sky or the ceiling. Hold on to the back of your right leg. Start to point and flex your right foot. Point and flex. Bringing movement into your ankle. Take circles in one direction. Take circles in the other direction. And then continue to walk your hand further up the back of your leg and start to lift your shoulders up off of your mat. Draw your knee a little bit closer towards your nose as you start to awaken your hamstring, the back of your right leg. And then lift your left leg up off the floor. Reach your hands toward your foot, toward the end of your mat. Hold here, and then just take 5 little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your left foot down, bring your right knee back toward your chest. Loose grip here though, and then guide your knee across your body to the left for a spinal twist. You can extend your right arm either in a goalpost shape or straight out to the side. You don't need to crank this, just kind of starting out, feeling into your body where you're at today, working with that place. So if you've had a little break from yoga, or if you're just starting yoga, or just ramping up your practice, you can make this practice your own today. Let's switch sides. Extend your right leg long on your mat. Hug your left knee in. Hands around your knee, bring it off to the left, up toward your shoulder. Elbows in, elbows down, and then flex both feet, all 10 toes back toward both knees. Feel the compression in your left hip. Relax the grip on your knee, bring it back toward center, and extend your left leg up toward the ceiling. Hold on to the back of your left leg with your hands, and then start to point and flex your left foot. Draw circles in one direction. Draw circles in the other direction. And then continue to walk your hands further up the back of your leg, lifting your shoulders up off of your mat. drawing your left knee maybe a little bit closer toward your nose. So just working on gaining a little bit of flexibility in your left leg. And then just starting to feel the core activating. Now lift your right foot up off the floor, hold it here to hover. Extend your hands toward your right foot and hold. And then from here, just 5 mini pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your right foot back down, bring your knee toward your chest, but just a loose grip on your knee, and then guide it across your body to the right. Left arm to the left, bent or straight, whatever you prefer. You can also gaze in the direction of your arm or your hand. Option also to keep your gaze up. Just a little stretch in your neck here. Then come back to center. Bring both knees into your chest. And we're going to make this a really active pose here. So keep your toes and your heels side by side, your knees side by side, and start to reach your hands across your arms, across your legs. See if you can get opposite hand toward opposite elbow. If not, no worries, just hold on to wrist or forearm, whatever you can reach. And start to press your low back down toward the floor. So you want ultimately a nice, long, flat spine, nice tight grip here. Just feel the compression in both hips. If you have tight hips, this might feel pretty intense. So we're going to hold it for one more breath. All right, relax the grip on your knees. Take 3 gentle rocks back and forth along the length of your spine. 1, 2, 3. Cross over your ankles and make your way to a tabletop position. Align your shoulders over your wrists, your hips, over your knees. Spread your fingers wide. And then breathe in, drop your belly coming into cow pose. Lift the crown of your head, lift your tailbone, feel the arch in your spine. And then round, coming into cat pose. Take your gaze toward your belly, lift and separate your shoulder blades. Bring your chin toward your chest. Start to breathe with your movement. So go back and forth, breathing in, cow pose, breathing out, cat. A couple more rounds with your breath. Make your way back to tabletop position. Bring your right hand a little bit closer to center underneath your face, and we're going to take thread the needle. So lift your left arm up, maybe gaze toward your fingertips, and then you're going to slide your left arm behind your right, come onto your left shoulder and your left ear. On your next breath in, lift your left arm all the way back up and release and switch sides. So breathe in, reach your right arm up, and then exhale, slide your right arm behind your left, come onto your right shoulder, right ear. Breathe in and out. Big breath in, reach your right arm up, exhale back to spinal balance, to tabletop, and we're moving towards spinal balance. I got ahead of myself there. So extend your right arm forward and your left leg back, one long line from the tip of your fingertips all the way back through the tips of your toes. Exhale here. For swan pose, bend your left leg, reach your right arm around, take hold of your foot, Start to kick your foot into your hand. Feel that nice stretch in your quadricep, opening of the front of your body. Breathe in and out. Okay, slow release. Come back to spinal balance first. So nice and controlled, very intentional with your motions, and then release back to tabletop. And let's take spinal balance on the other side. So extend your left arm forward and your right leg back. One long line from tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Try to steady and level your hips. Breathe in and out. Bend your right leg, reach your left hand around, take hold of your foot, kick your foot into your hand. Start to reach through the crown of the head as you kick your foot higher. Return to spinal balance, left arm forward, right leg back, and then back to tabletop position. We're gonna take melting heart pose to open the chest and the shoulders. If you need to, scoot back on your mat. Keep your hips directly over your knees. Walk your hands forward and slightly wide. And start to bring your chest, your chin, your forehead down towards your mat. Walk your hands back to a tabletop position. We're gonna prepare ourselves for downward facing dog pose, so tuck all 10 toes under. Lift your hips high, up and back, release your heels down toward the floor. And let's just take a moment here for just free movement. So whatever feels good as you adjust into your downward facing dog. I like to pedal my feet, pedal my legs. I like to sway side to side. I like to shake out my head. Whatever feels good for you. Just getting the kinks out. Checking in with all parts of the body. And remembering to breathe throughout your practice with intention. Big inhales and exhales through your nose. Now bring your left foot a little bit further towards center. You're going to lift your right leg straight up behind you, three-legged dog. As soon as you get it to the top of its height, go ahead and start to open your hips. You're going to stack right hip on top of left, bend your leg. Feel that stretch here. Level your hips, straighten your leg. Knee to nose, just one time. So see if you can touch your knee to your nose. Extend it back, three-legged dog. Now bring your knee toward your nose and set your foot between your hands. We're gonna come right into extended pyramid pose. So straighten your right leg as much as you can. As you begin to straighten your right leg, you can also fold over your right leg, bringing your forehead toward your knee. And bend your right leg as you exhale, coming back into your low lunge. You're gonna step your left foot to meet your right, but keep your legs bent and just come right into ragdoll. So resting your torso on your thighs, legs are bent, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Let your head dangle, let your arms dangle. And again, free flow movement here. If you like to sway side to side, to bend and straighten one leg at a time, that is all. Those are all options for you. Shake out your head. Release your hands down toward your mat. Heel toe your feet to touch, and then take a slow roll to a stand. Once you've arrived in standing, find mountain pose, bringing your arms alongside your body, palms face out, separate your toes, feel each toe connected to your mat, feel your heels connected to your mat, tighten up through your legs. On your next breath in, reach both arms up overhead, Encircle your right wrist with your left hand and start to side bend to the left, getting a nice stretch through your whole right side. Try to keep your shoulder in line with your hip and your core nice and engaged. Come back to center and we're gonna switch it out. So encircle your left wrist with your right hand and then side bend to the right, getting a nice stretch through your left side. Again, shoulder in line with your hip, core engaged. Come back to center, both arms up overhead. Take your hands now and interlace them behind your back for a shoulder opener and a chest expansion. Press your hands down toward your mat as you begin to straighten your arms. It's okay if they're not all the way straight. Maybe look up, feel that nice opening in your chest, and then hinging from your hips, come down into a standing forward fold with chest expansion. If you want more stability, you can always take your hands down onto your mat instead. But this is just tackling two things at once, a stretch in your hamstrings and a stretch in your shoulders. Okay, release your hands down towards your mat. Breathe in, come up to a halfway lift, lengthening your spine. Breathe out, forward fold. Plant your hands on your mat, step back to a high plank pose. Modification for high plank pose is knees onto the floor. Hold here for 3, 2, 1, and either with knees lifted or on the floor, lower all the way down onto your belly. Elbows come in, tops of your feet come flat to the floor. On your next breath in, lift up into cobra pose, just engaging the muscles along the length of your spine. Breathe out, release. And again, breathe in, lift, breathe out, release. Breathe in and lift, and this time hold it. See if you can take your hands up off of your mat. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Place your hands back on your mat, tuck your toes under, press up high plank, and back to downward facing dog. One breath here. Lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. Get it as high as you can, pressing your heel up toward the ceiling, and then begin to stack your hips. So opening up, bending your leg, letting it hang down toward the floor. Level your hips, straighten your left leg behind you. One time, knee to nose. See if you can touch your knee to your nose, warming up your core. Extend left leg high, knee to nose. Now this time, set your left foot between your hands. And right away, we're gonna come into extended pyramid pose. So start to straighten your left leg as much as you can. As you straighten your leg, you can fold over your leg, releasing your head, bringing your forehead closer to your knee. Exhale, bend your left leg, coming back into low lunge. And this time you're gonna step your right foot to meet your left, keep your legs bent, but we're gonna come into chair pose. So 2 bent legs, sit low, and then reach your arms up. So starting to build some heat and some fire in the legs. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Now bring your hands to your heart. And you're gonna twist to the left. So bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Bring your hands towards your heart. 3, 2, 1. Come back to center and switch sides. Left elbow, right knee. Hands towards your heart. For 3, 2, 1. Come back to chair with hands at heart center, and then reach your hands behind you as you start to lift your heels up off of your mat for balanced chair for 3, 2, 1. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up to tall mountain. Come all the way up. Exhale, cactus your arms this time. Breathe in, tall mountain. Breathe out, swan dive to forward fold. You can either bring your hands off to the side for a swan dive or bring your hands through heart center if you don't have the space. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Step back, high plank pose. This time as you breathe out, come into chaturanga, so halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog, hold it. So in upward facing dog, your knees and your thighs are off of your mat. Take your chin toward your right shoulder. Take your chin to your left shoulder. Come back to center, downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. Breath to movement. We're going to move through some Sun Salutations, just a couple of rounds. Modify as needed. Go at the pace of your own breath. And let's go for it. So look forward toward the front of your mat. Inhale, step, walk, float. Forward, exhale to fold. Tall mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward dog. Breathe in. And out. And again, look forward. Come to the front of your mat. Forward fold. With your breath. Tall mountain, rise up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward dog, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. Breathe in. And out. Look forward, make your way to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Tall mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Breathe in. And out. 2 more times. Come to the front of your mat on your breath in. Fold as you breathe out. Breathe into tall mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. The last one I'm going to let you do on your own. Just listen to your breath. Go at your own pace. Complete your exhale here. Come forward to the front of your mat. Big breath in and out. One more. Before we begin to move into some more standing postures, go ahead and reconnect to your intention, bringing your thought or your picture or your phrase into your mind. On your next breath in, lift your right leg up. Step forward to a low lunge position. And right away, we're gonna spin the back heel down to our mat and come up to warrior two. So you can kind of just circle your arms. And then arrive in warrior two. Nice soft gaze across your front fingertips. And take another breath here. Breathe into reverse warrior. Slide your left hand down your back leg. Reach your right arm up and back, stretching through your right side. And then exhale, side angle. Elbow to knee, hand to the floor. Whatever you prefer, left arm up or left arm forward. Just getting a nice stretch through both sides of the body. Big breath in, come up to 5-pointed star. Both toes point out, palms face out. And then exhale, hands to your heart, sink down into a squat. Hold here for 5 breaths. Really tap into that intensity, the heat building in your legs. Feel your body working, feel your breath. Deepening, strengthening. Inhale, rise up, 5-pointed star. As you breathe out, bring your heels behind your toes, hinging from your hips, standing straddle splits. We're just gonna take one breath in this standing straddle split. So breathe in through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Walk your hands to the front of your mat and rotate your toes forward, low lunge. Lift your back heel up off your mat. And on your next breath in, come into standing splits pose. So step onto your right foot, lift your left leg up. Look back toward the back of your mat. And then 3 times Jiva squat. So bring your left knee in toward the back of your right knee as you bend your legs. So 1, that was my ankle, sorry. 2, and 3. Come back to standing splits. Now try to see if you can keep your foot off of the floor as you bring it all the way through. Come to standing on one leg. Hug your left knee into your chest. So we did this pose on the floor, so try and visualize where we were at the beginning of class, laying on the floor. Now we're balancing, so squeeze it in. Okay, from here we're gonna come right back to airplane pose. So again, keeping your left foot up off of the floor, extend your arms back, continue to balance on your right foot. Look down, one spot on the floor. All right, you're gonna lightly set your left foot down behind you. So now you're in airplane lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, you're gonna do one dip of your left knee and you're gonna cactus your arms. Press it back up. Hands down to the earth. Step back, high plank. Make your way to downward facing dog. So chaturanga if you'd like here. Upward dog. And then back to downward facing dog. Big breath in, and out. Lift your left leg up behind you, 3-legged dog. Step your foot forward between your hands, low lunge. Now spin your back heel down to the mat. Circle your arms up, all the way to warrior two. So settle into your warrior two for another couple of breaths. Gaze out across your front fingertips. Nice strong legs, driving that left knee toward your left pinky toe. Inhale, reverse warrior. So feel the stretch along the left side of your body. So you slide your right hand down your right leg, and then left elbow to left knee, extended side angle. So option here to bring your fingertips toward the floor or your right arm forward. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Reach up. Exhale, prayer squat. This time, lift your right heel up off the floor, hold it, and set it down. Lift your left heel up off the floor, hold it, set it down. Lift both heels up off the floor. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Set both heels down. Inhale, back to star. Exhale, standing straddle splits. Bring your heels behind your toes. Breathe in and out. Walk your hands toward the front of your mat so you come back into a low lunge position. So lunging into your left knee, back heel lifts up off the floor, and you're transitioning to standing splits. So you're gonna stand onto your left leg, lift your right leg up, look toward the back of your mat, lift your foot a little bit higher, and then 3 times we're gonna squat. So 1, sorry, my ankle again, 2, and 3. Working those kinks out in my joints. Now you're gonna bring your right foot through, your right leg through without setting it down. Ooh, this side's a little more challenging for me. And then you're gonna bring your right knee in, hug it into your chest. So once again, visualize yourself at the beginning of class laying on the floor doing this exact posture, but now you're doing it on one foot, bringing in a new challenge, but the same benefit, feeling that compression in your hip flexor. So right back to airplane pose. Bring your arms back, extend your legs straight back behind you. Try to keep your hips level. Hold here, and then airplane lunge is your next posture. So step your foot back, stay hinged forward, but reaching back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Rise up, and then just one time, dip your knee and cactus your arms. Feeling strength building your right back leg. Press it up. Exhale. Down to low lunge. Make your way to downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. All right, let's flow one pose to the next with the breath. So lift your right leg up on your inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale here. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, star. Exhale, squat. Inhale, star. Exhale, standing straddle splits. Inhale, come up to like a halfway lift, and then walk your hands to the front of your mat. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, one squat. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, start to bring your left leg through, and this time we're gonna come into staff pose. Inhale with your leg bent or straight. Exhale, airplane. Make your way there. Take a big breath in. Airplane lunge, step your foot back. Crescent lunge, breathe in. Cactus dip, breathe out. Press it up, inhale. Exhale, lunge. High plank, chaturanga. Upward dog, downward dog. Big breath in and out. Left leg, lift it up, 3-legged dog. Low lunge. Warrior 2. Exhale, sink it in. Reverse warrior, stretch back. Side angle. Star. Prayer squat. Star. Standing straddle splits. Halfway lift. Low lunge. Standing splits. Big breath in. Exhale, squat. Standing splits. And staff. Breathe in, lifting your arms up, maybe straighten your leg. Airplane. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, airplane lunge. Crescent lunge. Cactus dip. Crescent lunge. Low lunge. Step back, high plank. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Zip up your legs, bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. The other option is airplane arms. Breathe in, lift everything up off the floor and hold it for 5. If you can continue to hold it, bring your arms forward now for another 5. Bring your legs wider than your mat. Bring your arms off to the side. Hold it for 5. And then go ahead and press back, child's pose. Take a couple breaths here. One more breath. Make your way back, downward facing dog. All right, back to our flow, adding on a couple of things. So on your next breath in, lift your right leg up. Low lunge, step through. Warrior 2, rise up. Reverse warrior. This time option for half moon pose if you want to balance, or you can come back to side angle. Lifting your left leg up off the floor, extending it back behind you, reaching high through your left fingertips and holding it here. Last breath in half moon pose. You're going to step lightly from here into prayer squat. So step back, bend both legs, bring your hands to your heart. Breathe in, 5-pointed star. Breathe out, standing straddle splits. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge to the front of your mat. From here, we're gonna step into side plank pose. So left hand stays on your mat, right foot back, right arm up. And you're gonna roll your way through chaturanga, up dog, down dog, same leg. Lift your right leg up, step through, so you're in low lunge now. Standing splits, jiva squat, standing splits, standing staff. So this time, you can either take hold of your knee with your left hand, or you can take hold of your big toe with your left peace fingers. From here, you can straighten your leg if you're holding onto your toe, and then you can open it up. So if you're holding onto your knee, you can open it up to the side here also. Extending your hand in the opposite direction. As gracefully as possible, airplane. So extending that leg out behind you, reaching back. Airplane lunge, crescent lunge, cactus dip, crescent lunge, low lunge, back to down dog. However you'd like to get there. We did that extra little chaturanga that time, so if you need to modify or take those out, feel free. Take another breath here. Lift your left leg up. Step forward, low lunge. Rise up, warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle or half moon pose. So step onto your left foot. And you're gonna hold this pose. Always option for a block, or if you want to float your hand, that's fine too. You can take sugarcane modification. All right, as lightly and gracefully as you can, prayer squat. So step back, bend your legs, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale to star. Exhale, standing straddle splits. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge to the front of your mat. Moving into that side plank hold. So keep your right hand on your mat. Step your left foot back. Lift your left arm up. Hold it. Roll through your chaturanga. It's coming back through plank, lower down, upward dog, downward facing dog. Left leg, so this is your same leg. Lift it up behind you. Low lunge. Standing splits. Step onto your left foot. Lift your right leg up. One squat. Standing splits. Standing staff. Take your time. So take a hold of your knee with your right hand, or big toes with your right peace fingers. If you have hold of your toe and you'd like to, you can straighten your leg. And then all of us, whether holding onto your toe or your knee, bring your leg to the right. Extend your arm to the left. And make your way to airplane pose. So extend your right leg back, bring your arms back with it. Really engage through your triceps, the backs of your arms, and then step back, airplane lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, cactus dip. Inhale, crescent. Low lunge. Travel back to down dog, modifying as needed. Take a big breath in. Lift your right leg up. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Wide-legged low lunge. Lower your left knee down toward the floor. Bend your leg. Reach around with your right hand. Draw your heel a little bit closer in for this last part of the stretch. And gently release that foot to the floor. Now to get into pigeon pose, we're gonna actually just bring that right foot and shimmy it across the mat and set your shin down. So pigeon pose, this is not gonna be an extremely long hold. So breathe in to lengthen, breathe out to release. And just 2 more breaths here. Come back up onto your hands, and you're gonna move your left leg around to cow face pose. So bringing your left leg up and over, stacking your knees to the best of your ability. Bring your right arm up and over, your left hand behind. Clasp your hands. If you cannot clasp your hands, that's okay. You can just take your hand up onto your elbow, or you can use a strap. Most importantly though, wherever you are in your cow face pose, keep your spine upright and don't hunch or crunch through your neck. Option to fold forward if you'd like. If you're forward, come all the way back up, release your hands. Bring your right knee toward your left heel. Your left knee toward your right heel. Bring your right hand out behind you. You're just gonna stretch up. So press your hand up, lift your chest, press your hips forward. That nice opening along the front of your body. And Release. From here, go ahead and bring your left foot forward, heel to your mat. Take your hands underneath your foot. Lift your foot up off the floor, maybe straighten your leg. And take your left foot, bring it toward your right hip crease for half lotus pose. If half lotus isn't accessible, you can just cross your legs. Bring your arms up overhead as you breathe in, and then as you exhale, find a nice deep twist, bringing your right hand towards your left knee. You can prop your hand behind you on your mat, or you can reach around for your toes for a bind. And release from your twist. Bring the soles of your feet together for butterfly pose. Bring your hands around your ankles. Sit up nice and tall and start to press your elbows into your knees as you hinge forward. We're just holding here for one more breath. Come all the way back up. Take your peace fingers around your big toes. We're gonna rock back and lift your feet up off the floor. We're making our way to upward angle. So if you can, from this position, straighten your legs, holding onto your toes. If not, you can do like a modified boat pose. We are going in that direction. We're not done yet. We're gonna do a little bit of core work, one more ramp up on the intensity before we do our final restorative postures. So from here, separate your legs into a straddle position. Keep your chest lifted, keep your chin lifted. Bring your legs back together. Bend your legs, boat pose, or keep them straight. I'm gonna bend mine because I can't keep mine straight. So boat pose, hold it first in a static boat. And then let's lift and lower to low boat. So low boat to high boat. Last one for this round. Hug your knees into your chest. One roll, the length of your spine. You can cross your ankles and either step back through chaturanga or hop back through chaturanga and make your way to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Lift your left leg up. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Lower your back knee down onto the floor. Bend your right leg, reach your left hand around. And just enjoy the twist in your spine, the stretch in your right quad, the opening in the front side of your body. And wherever else you might be feeling this pose, it's gonna be different for everyone. My hips have been a little bit tight lately, so I'm really feeling it there. Gently release your foot to the floor, and then to get into pigeon pose, we're just gonna heel toe that left foot across your mat to the other edge and place your shin on the floor. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, release. We're just holding this for a couple of breaths. So enjoy the stretch in your hip, your low back, wherever you're feeling it. All the way back up onto your hands, moving into cow face pose. So you're gonna keep your left leg there. You're gonna swing your right leg around, stack your legs. Maybe someday your knees will match, one stacked on top of the other. Sit up straight for the arms. You're gonna take your left arm up and over, your right arm behind, clasp behind your back. If you can't clasp, hold on to your elbow. Option to forward fold if you'd like. If you're forward folded, come all the way back up, release your arms, take your right knee toward your left heel, shin to the floor. Left hand behind you, reach your right arm up, lift your hips, open up. And release. Half lotus on the other side. Bring your right foot, cross your body towards your left hip, or you can just cross your legs. Lift your arms up overhead and take a deep, deep breath in. As you exhale, you're gonna twist, bringing your left hand to your right knee, your right hand out behind, or towards your toes. Release. Back to butterfly pose. This time we're gonna take diamond though. So butterfly, we draw our heels in. Diamond, you want to make a diamond shape. So when you look down, make sure it's a diamond shape. It gets a different part of your hip, it's a different stretch. And again, you can take your hands to your ankles and hinge forward, but try to keep your spine straight, neutral, and gently press your knees down. Feel and just notice the difference between the stretch we did last time, butterfly, and this stretch. Notice the different parts of your body. It's stretching and opening up. And release. Bring your left leg a little bit further back in now. Take your heel to the floor, wrap your hands around your foot, lift your foot up off the floor and begin to straighten your leg, hold. And release. And let's come straight back into boat pose. So lift both feet up off the floor, hold static, hold. Now bring your hands to your heart. It's gonna get our sides this time. We're just gonna tap right elbow to the floor, left elbow to the floor, back and forth. Keep your feet lifted if you can. If not, just set your heels or your feet on the floor. You can still get this nice core workout. Three, 2, 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Same thing as we did last time. Roll back, make your way back to downward facing dog. So you can roll forward, jump back, step back, chaturanga or not. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Look toward your hands, step or float all the way through to a seated position. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. Lift both arms up overhead and hinge forward to seated forward fold. We're gonna hold these next couple postures for approximately 5 to 7 breaths, 5 to 7 of my breaths, so I'll be counting. But enjoy the stretch and see as you breathe, if you can just take it a little bit, just microscopic amount deeper each time you breathe out. Even if it's not something that's noticeable, just feel it in your body. The way we start to gain some flexibility, start to open up tight areas in the body. And release. I'm going to take half Lord of the Fishes with an extended leg. If you'd like to bend your leg, that's an option as well. Take your left leg up and over your right. plant your foot to the floor, just hug that knee in, sit up straight, reach your right arm up, and you're gonna hook your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, and then you're gonna take your left hand out behind you and start to look out over your shoulder. Release and switch sides. So extend your left leg forward, right foot up and over your left. Stamp your foot to the floor. Hug your knee to your chest. Lift your left arm up and then hook your elbow to the outside of your knee. Start to look out over your shoulder as you plant your hand out behind you. You can always bind in this posture as well. And like I said, you can bend your leg if that's more comfortable for you. Hold it here for one more breath. And release from your twist. Make your way down onto your back. We're gonna do one inversion. You can take whatever inversion you'd like. I'm gonna talk you into shoulder stand. If you're near a wall and wanna do legs up the wall instead, if that's an option, we're just gonna get upside down, get our blood flowing in the opposite direction. So lay down on your back, hug your knees into your chest. If you're coming into shoulder stand, just rock your hips up off the floor. Take your hands to your low back and start to press your feet up toward ceiling. Option for plow pose here. You can continue to hold your shoulder stand or legs up the wall or whatever inversion you're taking. Just a couple more breaths. Bring your feet back up if they are not already. And then start to lower your back, your low back down onto the floor, but keep your legs lifted. We're just gonna separate knees and feet and come into happy baby pose. You can take hold of your toes or your feet or your ankles or your thighs, whatever you'd like. And then I'm just gonna give this option. If you'd like to try it, you can straighten your right leg, keep your left leg bent. This just increases the inner thigh stretch a little bit, kind of like in seated straddle splits, which we did not do today, so enjoy that stretch. Switch sides if you're taking this option. Start to straighten left leg, keep the right leg bent. Straighten both legs if you'd like. You bring your knees in. And then extend your legs long on your mat. I'm going to take both legs toward the right corner at the bottom of your mat. And then start to bring your shoulders to the right corner at the top of your mat. And make just a C shape, half moon shape. And then option here to cross one leg, one ankle over the other, or you can keep them side by side and cross one arm over the other, reaching opposite hand to opposite elbow. These are options. Try to keep your left hip pressed down onto the floor. As we hold these stretches now in this more soft place, even though some of these poses also can feel intense. Slow down your breathing and bring back your intention into your mind, your thought, your word, your image. We're going to take the stretch on the other side. So you're just going to bring your legs to the left side of your mat and your shoulders to the left side of your mat and hold here. Come back to center. Take one full long body stretch, reaching your arms up overhead. Exhale. Bring your knees into your chest. We're going to take a spinal twist. So you can take your favorite variation, the most restorative, the most comfortable, and just bring your knees to the right and your gaze to the left. So whatever variation of twist you'd like, go ahead and take that now. Sides. Come back to center. One last squeeze of your knees. Prepare for Savasana. Let's end our class the same way we started, with a body scan. So start with your toes and then just start to work your way up your entire body, visualizing and feeling each part of your body as you move your way up. And take it slow. As you let go of any tension or tightness that you're holding on to before you really sink into your Savasana, can you mentally also let go of something you're holding on to? So as you wash away that tension in your body, can you maybe think of something, maybe just one thing in your mind that you can wash away and leave behind and let go of? So you've made your way all the way to the crown of your head. Bring back into your mind your intention, your heart's longing. We'll take one final breath together. Breathe in through your nose. Let everything go with that big exhale through your mouth. And then just rest heavy in your Savasana. If you have the time, I invite you to enjoy your Savasana for longer. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that you've had a moment to reset or recharge, to reconnect. And today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and especially peace in your heart. From my heart to yours, namaste.